Dang foreigner got a brand new girlfriend, a beauty from Cebu. Met her on the internet, said I love you ×2. She's a quarter of his old age, with a smile so sweet and grand. Now she's got his pension plan clutched tight within her hand. Oh, foreigner got cleaned out by a scammer, walking home from his condo Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as true love, but as for old mister, he still wants to believe. She'd been drinking fancy cocktails that he was paying, and she begged him for a new phone and a little bit more for her sick and ailing mother and her cousin's leaky roof. But he was blinded by her sweet talk and couldn't see the proof. Old foreigner got cleaned out by a scammer, walking home from his condo Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as true love, but as for old mister, he still wants to believe. Christmas morning at the ATM, a most horrific sight. His bank account was empty in the early morning light. She'd taken all his money and the condo keys to boot. Left a note that said, thanks, sweetie, what a bitter fruit. Now we're all so sad for Grandpa, he's been taking this so hard, sitting there and watching traffic in his empty rented yard. It's not Christmas without money, all his credit cards are black, and we just can't help but wonder, will he ever get it back? Old foreigner got cleaned out by a scammer, walking home from his condo Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as true love, but as for old mister, he still wants to believe. Now the spaghetti and hot dogs on the table, and the pie made with coconut, and the blue and silver parole that were her favorite big. I've warned all my fellow expats, better watch out for yourselves. They'll take you for a sleigh ride with the help.
Good morning. Good morning. What you got going on there? Looks like you've been losing weight there, but nice to see
showing off my balls.
Yeah, showing off your balls and your hairy chest there.
Showing off my big balls.
Ah, looks like you need to fill that in. Maybe I should be wearing that.
There you go.
Finally, a Asian 3X is too big, or 2X or something.
I don't even try to guess clothing size or shoe size
Anymore. Yeah, it's kind of out there.
Yeah. Magandang umaga. Good morning sa inyong lahat. Prayers to one of our beloved people in the community, Victoria, for her dad, and hopefully that again everything goes out well. And I understand, and I think most of us do. So prayers to her dad, please. Thank you.
Yes, so much. Yeah, there's so much going on in a holiday right now. Now that I think about it, probably our next live stream, I know we've been hitting on the subject of health and problems and how quick things can actually change. But there's been a lot of discussion of like medication, medical treatment. Like I just read some guy that was discussing about coming here, another one about his medicine, but the guy has major psychological issues and he's looking to get 2 or 3 psych meds. And I'm like, yeah, really not a country to go through and do that. And someone misdirected him and said, oh, well, maybe when you get to the Philippines, you'll be less stressed and you won't need that kind of stuff. But it could be somebody with PSTD, could be somebody with long-term mental illness. You can't advise somebody that sunshine and pussy is going to get you by here in the Philippines. Might for a while, a little bit of red horse, I get it, but don't advise somebody that can't find at least the basics, that it's just, this is the misguided stuff we've been seeing a lot here lately, and I'm just going to call that shit out. And so we'll probably cover that. And like I got an update from the doctor the other day, and not going to sit around and cry over spilled milk. We're just going to live our best life. So some of our regulars and big people know what's going on with my health. But it's not been hidden since I left the U.S. that I had medical issues. And I kind of figured with the lupus, it would proceed in this other direction. It would also explain why I've been looking the way I do and having problems getting around. So, but overall, doing okay. So we'll cover we know you do second win. We know you special. Okay, right next to George and in between me, we put you right here with us on that special boat. Tweak your balls there.
What do you mean?
Just one, maybe the green one.
Oh, you're so goofy.
Got a little hair on your chest there finally. The other one, you could see the other one. So what was that? That officially sounded like liquid in the kitchen.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like wondering what the heck's going on in the kitchen.
They've got a wrapper that was around something, and they find everything. If something falls and gets hidden somewhere, they find it. So they're playing with plastic and they're on the floor. It sounds like water, but so we're going to cover a gold digger story where the guy abandoned somebody. And we're just kind of letting the room build up a little bit and let people come in. That's why we do such a long opening. A lot of people are fans of the music we create. All the music you've seen for probably at least the last year and a half has been where we've written the music and gone through, but it was sung by AI and instruments. But we do, we create the whole sound. We don't ask for it to be AI'd altogether. So George and I both go through and do that. So we do the opening to have people come in for those that are new in the room that don't know that. And so we let the room build up because the algorithm goes out. And so we ask you guys as viewers that you guys hit the like button right now, do a dislike if you don't like what goes on the channel, and that you guys subscribe, and that when you make your comments, it's free, guys. Don't be shy. Don't be whatever. It actually helps push out our videos to like-minded people like you, or someone that wants a little bit more entertainment than this dry bullshit of these couples walking around and doing this daydream shit. We're here to answer questions. We're here to talk about our real life. We're here to talk shit about shit. We're here just to be shit. Anyway.
And again, to show your sense of support, guys, again, don't forget we're currently doing a fundraising event right now.
Oh, we'll be doing one later
for December. Just click on the link below. It's GoFundMe. It's my own personal hoeing account. So,
it's probably true.
So yeah, guys, just donate. Click on the link. GoFundMe. Okay. Exactly.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. We could put up your Ho Fund here because it is Christmas time. And thank you. Blessings be to Sarah, my bestie out there,
thank you so much,
for
Miss Sarah.
our Christmas
so
support.
Much.
It's going to go
thank
so
you for
far.
Your wonderful support.
George's like, why are you sitting there crying? Because Sarah's a blessing. But we appreciate people when they've been supporting the channel. It just always blows our mind. It's George didn't have to go out and simp and pimp for it. I didn't have to simp for it and get on a bikini. You guys probably preferred it. I don't. I know some of them trolls would like it. I like to DM them every now and then and send them a little something. But we do. It's Christmas. This could be George's last Christmas.
Wait, what?
You might get that motorcycle. We raise enough money at your, what'd you call it here? Let me get your, what's it called up here?
GoFundMe.
Oh, yeah, we can. Let me redo the GoFundMe. GoFundMe challenge instead of the. Oh, wait a minute. We need to change that. That was his. I almost put that with his GoFundMe.
Huh?
That was for, I shouldn't laugh, that was for Kelly. And I almost put GoFundMe Christmas, and it was linked to his GoFundMe, and it would have been that if somebody scanned.
Right.
I got to wake up here.
All right.
So
just real quick, it's a little, the weather's a little iffy depending if you're north or you're in Luzon.
There it is.
Skies are sunny. The ones cloudy, sunny and cloudy. Visayas they're experiencing rain, and Mindanao is somewhat similar to Luzon.
Dude, you're giving a weather report? Why don't you talk about what's really going on?
Well, actually, I was going through. It's not a real weather report; it's an overview. like right now, their e-trikes are everywhere.
Mm.
So you guys know. I personally have not seen any impounded e-trikes or e-bikes.
Yeah, it's not going to be till January.
So I haven't found any enforcers pulling them over. But remember, this is in our area, so it varies per location. I'm just saying, as of right now, the only changes are there's less e-trikes on the road,
Yeah,
but
people
they're
are
still there.
nervous. Yeah, yeah. So that e-trike thing looks like it's going to be a hot mess. And here's the thing: we're going to probably go into um, buying a more individual, like mobility wheelchair slash scooter of some sort for me, or get a set of them so we can do more like neighborhood things and market things so I can get out of the house because walking has become an issue with my medical issues here lately. And but we're not making a move until they figure everything out because we may have to go up on the main street. We know some areas doing the bike lanes. They've been showing them in different areas, but they show also the bike areas that can be used out there are being like where cars are parked there, vendors are selling in the lanes, and so they're trying to get that all straightened out. So probably somewhere around the first of January, February, we'll look into something more
Right.
like
I have a project in the works. I believe I told Heidi this last year. Here's my plan. I was gonna gather up all the cats, put harnesses on them, and then tie them on a dolly.
he said that the last time when we talked about the scooter 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I said
Eco-friendly.
I still say we get the quads and let me run people over. I only got a few good years to live. Let me just run people over.
All right, GTA.
Grand Theft. No, we need a Grand Theft e-bike. Who knows? They're about ready to drive me nuts in there. All right, guys. I think I'll go through the story anyways, and then for those that are rewatching, just comment, and then I'm gonna go through some of the comments where people have responded, which is even more hilarious. Like romper room in here today.
Yeah,
These cats are
what
off
you
the chain
feel?
because here in about 45 minutes they'll all lay down and take a nap. No, it's just they get so wound up they're like kids, and then they all pass out the first hour of the live stream. The cats are just. Have you seen them use the scratch pad on the wall? We got like a scratch pad where they show where the cats run up the wall,
There it is.
and they're learning to. Yeah, so no, they're all learning to use it. All right, guys. So let me tell you what this says and tell you what's going on with the expat. He said, on my last trip to the Philippines, I had planned to meet this girl. I initially blocked her because she mentioned her mother's hospital bill right away. Can we get a red flag finger? Give me a red flag finger if you see the red flags. If you it doesn't have. You're gonna have to go get. Wait a minute! Don't do it! Don't do it! You have to go get the. You have to get up and go get in the blue bucket if you want that.
Well, then go.
We'll go.
Go.
Well, you get up and go do that.
I know. I am.
He's gonna. We got like a game show buzzer. He's gonna buzz it every time he hears a red flag, guys. We'll let the room build up. In the blue bucket is where the batteries are. I'd ordered some more. We'll probably have a delivery. So George is gonna hit. We have a blue bucket has all battery packs and everything dealing with emergency. Anybody else got a spouse when you tell them like 10 times where something is, they just don't. I think women, like George said, are more organized and multitasker. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I don't know if it'll...
Did it fall on the bottom?
Yeah.
He said there are new ones coming, but no, most men that I've known ain't very good at organizing. They can get
It would help if it's consistent. That's.
It's been in the same bucket. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
Hasn't.
All right, well, that's fine. But when George hears a red flag,
Where's the on switch?
probably isn't. It probably just starts right away. You probably just have to hit it, but don't do it until it's time.
Well, ask the question again.
All right, so George is going to hit the buzzer here when You're probably gonna
Guess
have.
I'll just have to hold it.
Well, maybe we can angle the camera down more so it's on the table.
No, that's too low. You can't do it.
We did before.
Way too low.
Oh, what are you afraid someone's gonna see your kneecaps?
Babe.
Well, then we can.
You can try. Go ahead. I mean, I don't mind.
How about this?
Well, you need something higher. No,
There we go.
No. Yeah, babe. Even that's too low. Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be way too.
Well, that's way too low.
Okay, then. All right, go ahead.
Move not that. The camera.
Okay.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Yeah. So
No,
then.
no. Wait. So it has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we still need something to cover the. Oh well, it just seems like it's off or something. There we go.
Oh, the things that kind of.
Turn it at an angle, maybe. Oh, gotta push it the other way. All right, guys. So now that we're absolutely disturbed and I'm disturbed and we're off on this. So, anyways, he's going to hit the buzzer when he hears a red flag. We're trying to figure a way to use this. All right, so on his last trip, he had planned to meet this girl. I initially blocked her because her family mentioned her mother's hospital bill. What was wrong with the hospital bill?
Huh?
Anyways.
The preceding sentence was I had just met her.
All right. But using another account, she opened another account to contact him. Maybe she really cared for the guy.
Yes, she needs multiple accounts in order to contact people. That's love.
Okay. And she begged me to unblock her. Became close online. And she didn't ask for money this time. She then traveled 10 hours to meet me.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. No.
I still think that's a little thirsty. She traveled 10 hours to meet me. On an arrival, I found her to be very attractive, but almost immediately she had asked me for money right away. As soon as she got there, she asked me for money.
Well, that's okay. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure the guy paid for the expenses and everything.
Maybe.
However, they're still gonna hit you up at the end of the trip. Now, here's the thing again, and I repeat this: any decent person worth their salt, male, female, or whatever,
Worth their
they
salt.
don't really ask for anything, if that makes any sense.
And I do want to say,
unless you offered in the first place.
I do want to say, guys, that although we talk about on this live stream loosely about expats and Filipinos, there are good expats, there are good Filipinos, there are good Filipinos. They're not all the same. These are all individually based. There are tons of great YouTube channels that put out the right information with real heart. And you got to ask yourself, when you do see those channels, you're like, who the hell would follow that shit? Or what are they trying to feed me? You know? And so I just want to say that in talking about this doesn't apply to everybody, because I know there's a lot of good Filipinas, more good than there is what's going on. We're just covering an individual story today. There's more good than there is bad on the expats, and not throwing them in a basket. So, anyways, all right. So she asked for money right away. Oh no, he didn't pay for it. It says she asked for money right away and wanted me to travel back with her to the province to give her father money. Are you awake? It took you that long to think about that?
Well,
that you just met?
you were, babe. I have to wait for the entire sentence or paragraph to finish.
Okay. So I hatched a plan to abandon her at the bus terminal. That's not a flag on him. This is about bad expats too. That's not nice. Either way, he could have done it different.
That's smart.
I think it's kind of rotten, but okay. He at least could have manned up, is my deal. I can't stand somebody that doesn't man up, that squanders off in a corner and shirks from responsibility, or that means he's a coward if he just left her there without.
She's not his responsibility. If here's the rules of etiquette.
And they might have not been together.
If he didn't offer in the first place, that's her problem. How to get there and back.
So I hatched a plan to abandon her at the bus terminal. We got on the bus and I gave her money for the fare and food, and then said I had to go to the bathroom, and I never came back. I left from there. Well, people have it. There are hundreds of comments. People definitely said it was pretty crappy, and I guess it's the way you would look at it. Trap. She was scamming too. So, or in other words, she was
she could get there and she could trap him literally. And I mean, literally.
That is true. They've gotten guys out there and they don't know how to get up out of it. You guys think it's a joke to end up out in the province where it takes 2 or 3 trikes just to get to a bus station, and then you got to take a boat, and you can't. Yeah, you're literally out there until you get a ride from her uncle or something.
They do trap them, yes.
So it is a real thing. Doesn't happen all the time. So it says here, she messaged me and I made an excuse about needing something for, I guess the guy has a Filipina daughter. So he's dated before and he's been here before. Was this acceptable thing to do? She basically lied to me about not wanting any money. And then obviously she did. She was looking to be a gold digger. Over 1,000 comments. This really got people in a hornet. And the mix of it is a mix of what actually people are saying. Guys, comment on what you actually think about this. Let's get this algorithm kicking. What you did wasn't nice. This appears to be coming from a Filipino. This looks like a Filipino account name and everything. What you did wasn't nice, and I tell you why. She showed you the red flag straight away from the beginning. That straight away there was to be some sort of trade-off because she was good looking. Someone maybe you probably couldn't have landed even in your own country, which is probably true. She was probably, in his eyes, an 8 or a 10. So possibly it was a desperation thing on his side. That the fact that he would meet up like that, it's like some of these guys try to skip over shit when they're dating. Instead of doing proper dating, they try to meet and then go to hotels and, oh, there we go. What was that? Look, Sarah, can you say hi? Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Oh, don't complain. Oh,
she's not heavy enough to.
No, she's not. No, she's not heavy enough. So it says when she asked for money right off of the second time, you should have just said no instead of leaving her there.
No, I disagree.
And then somebody else named Jenny said, to be honest, not all Filipinos are bad. I would agree with that. But there are times, yes, you need to be careful. Way back 10 years ago, I knew someone who was married to a wife, but he was fully aware that his wife had a foreign mistress. However, he didn't say anything to his wife because they both benefited from it. And there are fringe benefits where both sides know this. I do know one thing here for sure. A lot of times these foreigners will find out the Filipino was married. He's still getting money based on the relationship. But that's not a good Filipina either if they're both living on the money from the foreigner. A good Filipina will support her man all the way through. They don't ask for nothing. Like George, we've actually had help from his family. They got him the car, and George did not get good sleep last night. So it's not every Filipino where you're going to have a problem, but sometimes it happens. But you got to think about the whole situation of the percentage of poverty here. Lack of jobs doesn't make it right. That's where, what do you call that? Morals.
Etiquette. Morals and etiquette.
Yeah.
Now,
come in.
Jumping back on the first comment, because I have a feeling this is going to be a reoccurring thing. This is based on the second comment too. First off, both commenters established there's something wrong with the girl. Both commenters, even the one that defended her.
Mhm.
Apparently, that commenter, the first commenter that defended her, forgot that the American did pay the ticket and did pay for the food and everything. Now, here's the thing: the problem is if he didn't.
Next time we just hold
Then
it.
yes, that's an issue. But again,
Oh, sorry.
but then again, remember, it's the rule is don't assume if the American expat or the Filipino expat says they're gonna pick you up. Don't assume it's free. Don't assume it's not free. Get it? And that's where it kind of gets into a gray area. But judging from the verbiage, keyword there, the gentleman's verbiage, judging from the gentleman's verbiage, he already established those rules, and he did take care of her in the end, just not the way she wanted done. And again, he may have. See, I can't even say that he left her high and dry because,
I
again,
think there's something missing from the story.
Right,
I
right,
still
right.
think there is, just like I seen that vlogger out on Walking Street recently, the Russian guy. Once again, this is like 3 times in the last year he's been hit by a foreigner on Walking Street. His camera's been knocked out of his hand. He got knocked again. Only footage he showed was the foreigner hitting the camera out of his hand and him chasing him down and asking for the police. What did he do beforehand? What did he say? Did he have his camera up in the face? You're only getting part of the story. So I still think there is story missing from this. So that would be you.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So no. I get. Actually, again, there could be war stories on her side. That's real, or there could be war stories on his side. That's real. You know what I mean?
Hold up, swole up. The chick is in here. She responded. This is her in here. The chick has responded. As I said already, I introduced myself to you, Nigel, that I am part of a women's organization and you're taking advantage of Filipina ladies that are vulnerable. And as I had warned you, that this whole thing might get out of context. But you didn't stop. You exposed all the innocent faces here. Oh, there must be photos somewhere. No, this is somebody else. Sorry. This is somebody else he's been talking to. You've exposed young, innocent faces and their pictures, and I just found out some of them were minors. Uh-oh. Now something has just changed. I will make sure that these women get the justice they deserve. Dun, dun, dun. As I said, I already introduced myself to you that I am part of an organization in the Philippines. You've been taking advantage of Filipino ladies that have been vulnerable. I warned you. But you didn't stop there. Instead, you exposed all of
So
their young, innocent faces here and their pictures.
does that mean
And they are
he's
minors.
publicly like?
So I told you there's something else. The way this had read, here's the idiot things these guys do. Somehow, most of these vloggers, a big percentage, I'd probably say 80% Filipino or expat wise, they're narcissistic. They want to be seen and they want to be, what did we say? Peachback Mountain, him and his wife wanted people to accept what they were doing. They were looking for, not gratification, what's the other word? I miss, my memory's been bad. They wanted people to tell them that it was okay. Same with these guys. They tend to put these photos out of them kissing on these girls and hugging on them and them in their bikinis, and then they do turn out to be minors and they're bragging to family and people and friends and putting content out they probably shouldn't. And he responded, I can sue you and your organization for slander. Oh, there's another person's threatening to sue. I'm not even going to get into the long bullshit of suing somebody, especially in the Philippines. You need to give me your information so I can take legal action against you. So the guy is threatening her to sue her. Honesty is best policy. Yeah, you should have, they said, the next person said he should have trusted his intuition when she asked for money a couple other times, just not even been in that position to leave her like that. It's still, even on my worst day, I would rather face the person at that point. But that's me. Not everybody's like that. I still think he still should have said, "Hey," and just put it. He should have ended a long time ago. He shouldn't have got up to that point and then just. He basically. I guess I just don't like the way it was done. You don't owe anyone in life an explanation for your decision, and you always don't need people's approval. You did what you did. I would have done it differently. She was getting on the bus to go home anyways. If I'm, well, I don't think they were. Well, no, he gave her the ticket money. That's right. He did give her the ticket money to go home. You did the right thing. He did the right thing by at least getting away from her before she let him out there.
That's the issue I find in this one is there's, like Heidi said, there's something missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you see any comments at the bottom based on this, you might want to.
Yeah, and
here's one that says, "Why not just man up and just tell her the truth about everything?" I wouldn't have gave her the money to go back home, but I would have.
I wouldn't.
It's why you blocked her in the first place. So he should have seen the red flag from the very beginning. To meet up, that means he was super thirsty and desperate, babe. If you met up with someone that was acting psycho, if you met up with someone and stayed with someone that acts psycho from the very beginning, that's on you, fool.
I never deny it. But okay, now the man up thing. I'm going to use a label only because it's that particular label or the type of people who use it. But remember, it's not necessarily the smartest and wisest choice. Okay. In the alpha culture, we go like, man up, man up. Well, here's the thing. Up. Do you really think manning up to everything and being in an aggressive stance or whatever is always the smartest choice? It's not. It's never. It's almost never the right choice.
Yeah, because I guess I'm just going to go and backpedal a little bit that it also could have led to something rougher. She could have hit him in the head with something. She could have went off. So maybe avoid the full confrontation thing and just...
Right. It leads to a confrontation that never... Usually confrontation is a bad thing. And I'm not saying avoid all conflict. I'm not saying that. I'm saying pick your battles. And this is not one of them.
Second, and we're not in the West anymore, right. So I guess that's the other.
Well, even if you are in the West.
No, I think I would sit up all day long on half the shit that happened here and sit in jail for 5 days, 10 days.
Okay, well, okay.
Here is a little different. So
what Heidi is saying,
you want to avoid jail because
your man up shit will have you end up in Rafi 2 full all beat up and you're not going to get shit.
Or in jail, yeah. So it just depends because she may be totally psycho. She could have alone. A family member, right. There are times like...
Usually they're not alone.
When they show up at the airport, there's been guys scammed and dropped off somewhere. When the country reopened, there was quite a few guys where they had been giving money forever. They were supposed to build a house, all this other stuff. They were picked up, supposed to be picked up at the airport, and then they never even showed up at all, or they were picked up and dropped somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So it's,
Yeah. Now, okay, next would be, again, some of you will be like, the opposite of manning up is slipping away. That's not the right answer too, but that's not what he did. However, just don't slip away either. That's just cowardly.
This Filipina said, you should have let her see your gold, man. First, you did a coward thing. You left her without telling her exactly any truth around gold diggers. You did a good thing. I think it was sarcasm. Well, you did a good thing. You gave her the fare and the food, which at least he was.
That's what I'm saying. He did. And then the other option would be, just walk away.
It says here, some of them have nothing but time on their hands. And that is so true. That goes for Filipino men and women. I would swear... Although we see people spending multiple cars and bikes at their house, most everybody is home. We think it's a holiday half the time. Like we've been here, I think this is our 4th Christmas in this location. I'm like, is it another holiday? Everybody's outside, just hanging outside and things going on. But here, it's true. A lot of them don't have jobs. Like they said, they're relying on OFW. They have late night jobs possibly, but they got a lot of time on their hands, no doubt. And what they do anywhere, but we're talking about the Philippines, so I'm talking about the Philippines. But it says traveling time for 10 hours to get money is not a problem. They would have traveled further to get some money out of a guy. If they stay home for those 10 hours, they have nothing. So it's like 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7. How's that go, George?
Huh?
6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7.
That was not used properly, by the way.
Oh, I just thought it was fun.
No, they did it because it's funny.
Okay.
I mean, it was a joke.
No, I got that. It's just all the. I guess that's the new thing to say.
Well, technically, it is used properly, but improperly at the same time. Because, all right, never mind.
Hey, there you go. Hey, George, if you can buzz me out, and I'll
Okay,
buzz you out.
okay. Just so you guys know, the easiest explanation for 6 7 is if you know, you know. And if you don't know what that means, then I can't explain it any more than as that's the simplest version of you know.
Okay.
6 7.
It says here, which is true, and I would give this advice: is find a Filipina who is self-sufficient. There are plenty of beautiful and ugly self-sufficient Filipinos. Just looks are not everything at your age, bitch. Like mine, you really think that if George fell down the stairs or got into one of his sleepy bike trike rides outside and something happened and I moved on, that I would be looking for the most handsome guy, and that's how I base my life. I think guys make a major mistake when they're basing it on a set of tits and a bikini and how they can show them off in Dumaguete or Angel City or where they get them based on looks. And then they want to believe these women are all self-sufficient, self-made, doing the right thing. Like George said before, there's differences in looks, packages, and in the end, the love making and body does go to pot. Okay. So what happened in their Western marriages will eventually happen in these marriages. And we see these relationships fall and fail all the time. You get a self-sufficient one that may say, hey, if I can go to school or I am going to school, or they already have something going on. But I think these guys know deep inside they may not even level up with these ladies. And then they want to say that they're, what do they call them in America now? Witches? No. The problem that they have with the women in America, they're liberal or they're all,
Well, they're not. I don't think you can say those words. But
anyways, the whole thing is the women exist here like that. But what I'm saying is, I think they go after these women that are desperate. It's kind of like the guys that go after 18-year-olds or minors younger than 18, like the pedos. They do it for full control. And the same with some of these women. They make bad decisions. Could it be the bad decisions in their life? Do these guys have mental issues? Are they got, is their ding dong broken without a purple pill? And is it because they've got mental issues, they're so broken down? Or who knows? They're making bad decisions based on probably a dozen different things. And there are plenty of fish out there. So why don't they make the better decisions? They just get rushed into these things. Why would you know a woman, you blocked her and then you met up with her anyways? That was the whole bad decision. That's why I'm saying she can't take the full blame for this. This expat is a ding dong too. Why would you waste your time getting on a bus to meet up with someone you knew was asking for money because you thought you were going to get some?
okay, now here's why. Okay, I used to fish a lot. I fished. Now I wouldn't say every day. I'm like twice a week, something like that. And no, I did not keep the fishes. I'm a catch and return.
Oh, I thought he was
catch and
talking about
release.
his plenty of fish dating.
Yeah. Well, that's a different story. Now, when I fish, I've caught all manners of fish because I fish in the sea. Like I said, I caught a shark, like a 5-foot shark. But anyway, while I was in the water. Now, here's the thing. When I fish, I catch, you name it. Although most of the time, I catch, damn, not snooks. I don't like snook. But anyway, I catch not the real good fishes. I get like the bottom feeder fishes and stuff like that. and I would try to change locations, and that's when I would occasionally catch, yellow, not yellowfin, red, no, not red.
All right.
No, well, anyway, no, anyway. Point being is, no, no, no. I do go out on a boat, but that's when I catch the good stuff. So this is why this analogy is why I picked, because again, like
Good
what I'm
morning,
saying is,
Tara.
I usually fish by the seashore, and I catch you name it, but they're not really good eats. Like, sometimes you catch like angelfish, stuff like that. Occasionally. And again, like I said, I caught a 5 foot shark while I was literally in the water. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, and any fisherman will agree to this, you catch catfish and a crab occasionally. So what I'm getting at is, these men, if they don't change their ways, if they don't change their habits, if they don't change their dating, for example, like when here's the thing: when you're young, I don't know why old people do this. When you're young, you go bar to bar to bar to bar. When they're old, all they do is just sit in the same freaking
My
bar.
dad did that. They finally, at a certain age, just start going to one bar or something.
So, in my fish analogy, again, if I just sat on the shore, again, yes, yes, I did catch some amazing fishes. I'm not really a good ichthyologist, so I can't name the fishes. But point being, I did catch
He's an
amazing.
ichthyologist, all
I did
right.
not catch. I occasionally I did catch amazing fishes, but that's on a rare occasion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the analogy like where people keep getting like I've seen people marry husbands or have boyfriends just from their jobs, and it's like you found somebody else at your job and you're marrying him or something. They're just picking from one area. They're not looking in different
Right.
areas
So
or
what
different ways
makes
of life.
these? I mean, again, like I said, I don't know what's up with older men, because again, this is an older men thing that they just decide to go to the same freaking bar.
I will tell you, I feel these men are desperate. They're broken. Am I broken? Yeah, we're all broken by the time we get here. I know they talk about everybody's a misfit when they get here. I get it. We're not spring chickens. Our asses are showing up here 50, 60, 70. Okay. So these guys are showing up broken to begin with, getting out of marriages in a new country, which, even if you're not in a relationship, being in the Philippines is stressful as it is. Like that guy in that medication thing, I'm like, dude, you need to come and stay. He's never even been here. The traffic alone could drive somebody nuts, or all the people. Like I just seen in Baguio, it wasn't even a festival, it was just a night market. It was shoulder to shoulder. That is nerve wracking to be squeezed into a market where you can't even get through. It's loud and so anyways, it's beside the point. But these guys, I feel, are super desperate. They're marrying these women within a few months period. I think they're looking for someone to take care of them. I think they're trying to, they've been watching YouTube so long and they've been planning this for so long. And the older you get, like me, especially finding out how sick I am here recently, I feel like I'm trying to cram everything in. It's like I'm going to miss something. So I'm sleeping less. And so it's causing them another form of anxiety, but they're making bad decisions for their dating. That's for
Right.
sure.
I mean,
Someone said here you dodged a bullet cannonball there, man. But well done. In a case like this, just run as fast as you can and, don't look back. He's probably lucky, but he should have made a better decision than to. That would just show a pure form of desperation that he would still get on a bus. And a lot of these guys aren't young. Like that old dude, what was that? How long ago? Just a couple months ago, we showed that old dude being carried off the bus. Like the guy was half dead, had a stroke on the bus. Those buses are long rides, dangerous rides, and they're not all AC'd, are they anymore? The part of them are, but some of the older ones aren't. But it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't have. There, if you're wanting to do that, you might as well just know what you're doing and bar find somebody. You see what I mean? If that's what you're really down to, you'd have a better guess knowing exactly what's going on. And then somebody says, "Yeah, that's why you keep talking to her, man. The reason you came to the Philippines is that no girls, and I mean 16 to 20ish in your target, in your home country, which that's what they target. They tend to target girls underage or around 18 to 20 because that's what they're being advised to do. Would even bat an eyelid at you. No country. Not for me and not for you. and they somehow choose the Philippines. Thailand comes next, and some of these other Asian countries. They wouldn't try that shit in France. Try that bullshit in Germany. Try that fucking bullshit in another country like that. It's not going to happen. But that's what they do, and you expect nothing but true love and loyalty. Okay, I mean, you're lucky she had the guts to even talk to you online, which I think they would anyways. We get where people reach out at the Philippine Antics group itself, where they know both of us are there and they're always trying to come on to us. You're lucky you even get the attention, but it's based on a couple dollars. You have to spend more than that, I suggest, and just get a hooker in your own country. Wake up, man. Wow, they went straight to the point there. What was that? Oh, coffee? Oh, shit, I took your... Well, why don't... Jiminy crikey. See, George beat up that poor... George did that to the cat. That was our very first kitten we had. And he went to go pick her up and was doing this TikTok with her in Mexico. And look what he did to her. There you go. Broke both of her legs. George did that to me. Y'all nasty bastard.
For those of you who don't know, that's Tater Tot. I don't know what happened.
He broke that kitten's legs. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but seriously, how did Tater Tot's legs get broken? Tater Tot's not our cat. It's an internet cat.
It is an internet meme. I think they found him like that. I don't know. Yeah, or he needed corrective legs, but I forgot what happened to Tater. You'd have to look him up.
Yeah, but
this person called him out and said the whole story's fake. He just posted it, and I will let you know that on those Facebook forums, I would say half of them are AI'd and made to create static. It could be a static story right now.
I wouldn't call it fake. I would call it a regurgitated story.
I don't know. He's fighting in there with that other woman about minors.
Worst case scenario. If it is fabricated, it's partially fabricated. If it is, but what I'm saying is, this is a.
Do you guys feel that it's actually real? It says here, a woman named Mary Jane. Mary Jane. You know, when they asked me the other day, the one thing that I miss about being back there is having a legal medical card. Yeah, you can just forget about. Hey, remember some of the first few stories we told about that old dude in Cebu that was actually growing in his own condo and selling it to expats? We couldn't believe it. This was several years ago. That I don't know if you guys remember that old dude that had grow houses. His electric bill was astronomical, and then he made the mistake and broke up with the girlfriend. She ratted him out and got him and his friends in trouble. Never even did get an update on that old dude. Had cancer and he was sick.
One. Now here's the thing. Just real quick, I don't think she ratted him out just to rat him out, just to let you guys know.
He was probably a nasty old bastard.
Like I was telling Heidi the other day.
Good morning,
we're
Joseph.
talking about a certain person that might go down or not. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Hey, amigo.
Here's the problem with it, that expats operation. Just so you guys know, again, just real quick, a retired expat, growing some 420.
Hi, Ruby.
And he was distributing it. His weak link is his distribution chain, which is guess what that chain is. Guess who were his distributors is? It's his girlfriend and their friends. So what I'm saying is,
weak link.
In all probability, that one of them got nabbed.
Could have been a deal or two.
And then
they got pissed about him having it.
Yeah, or that. Point being is that's the link.
Say hello to Kay.
Yeah, I mean what I'm saying is, if he had done it himself, it would be smaller, but he may not be locked up. But anyway, that's a speculation.
Filipina and Filipinos are foreigner because of the money. It's simple. I think so. That's why we say there are couples that have very healthy relationships. I still think there's other things going on in the relationships. What relationship isn't perfect, and it works out. But if I had to guess, 3 out of 10 of them, they make it like a lot more of them. I think a lot of them, and I'll tell you what, a lot of them stay together because of YouTube and TikTok, so they can still make money, so they can still show off, and they're too damn prided to let people know that it's over. So you'll see a lot of these couples faking it until they make it to the point where they're caught out and about by other people and stuff. Fact, several couples. And I believe that it's a bad dynamic when there's that much of an age gap. Most of them are 20, 30 years, 18 years. Do they work? Yes. But when you start out in a desperation mode, it's what like begot. Like I just seen that old dude that's literally, I think he's 89 and his Filipina has like a 9-year-old son. He just asked her to marry him, took her to a jewelry shop. Their whole life is on TikTok and Facebook and big numbers. And I think he's almost 90 or something. It's like a really godly difference in their ages. And she said the reason she's in love with him, it showed him at Costco, or not Costco's, but S&R, buying shit for her father. And she's like, he's so good to my family and I love him for him. And I'm like, I get it. You can still be in love or whatever, but you can't tell me that there's all those fireworks and that's the reason. I don't know. There just seems something just really off on the relationship, and I think that's why people pound high pound cancel Heidi.
Right.
So
Now,
hashtag
now here's
cancel
the
Heidi.
thing, and a lot of people don't
Just being
realize.
honest, I don't feel it's.
The thing is, you guys ever notice me saying if they ask you for a load, block them, dump them.
Good morning.
If they
Victoria.
ask you for money for a sick mom when you just met them, block them, dump them. There's this the rule, the salesman's rule, the rule of 3. Do you guys know what that is?
Sure. There's your Walter Mart. We ended up getting some pan to sell with cheese.
Okay. Now the salesman rule of 3. This is something that a real good salesman know.
Good morning.
Okay.
Love you,
Now,
Victoria. There's Victoria.
How it works is, okay. How it works. If, for example, they're selling you a TV, isn't that a good TV? Oh, yeah, it is. And then they would be like, isn't that a reasonable price? Yes, it is. And then they ask you, you want to take it now? The most common answer is yes, because you say 2 yeses and then the third answer is usually a yes. Rule of 3. Anybody who's gone in sales will agree to this. They're like, yeah, that's how it works.
I usually take the no and I'm gone. So that's probably why I'm not good.
Well, that's why I say you shut them down. The first one
I try pity.
that's how you know veteran shoppers is. They be like, no, I'm good, thanks. Because they know once they get their foot in that door. So what I'm getting at is when the girl says,
Krusty, what
can you buy me a load? Yes, and then you'll give them money. See, here's the other problem there.
Can you buy me a load? Can I get some? Can I get some there on your Christmas balls? Hey, look! I just noticed you have. Hold on, lean back. Wait a minute, George. Hold on. I think it's a belly button on there. Hold on.
Yeah.
There is. Here, hold on. There you go. Wait a minute. We'll straighten your shirt out so we can see your. There you go. No, you stop. It's right.
Oh, it's over.
No, it's not. Stop. That. Hey, look, George has a trail here. I think you look. Hold on.
What's the cat when I need one? All right. Anyway.
Here's Krusty. Here, let Krusty on you.
No.
Krusty can stick on.
No. All right. So
Krusty can suck in your Christmas.
Okay. Again, guys. Here's the thing. The moment you give them money,
can I have a kiss, Krusty?
It's easier for you to give them money the next time, and then they'll escalate it.
Did you sleep?
And it's also easier for them to ask you money for the next time. At the same time, they're escalating it, and that's why it's important to know when or when not to. For example, if they say, my parents are such and such or whatever, you need 100% verification. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a dick about it. You can say stuff like, I want to get a hold of the hospital. Let me see how they're doing. That's not being a dick. That's somewhat being nice and asking for, I want to see what they need. maybe I can help more, that kind of deal. But what I'm saying is, don't be a pushover. Don't get steamrolled or whatever.
What's wrong with you now, Chris? Is this sweater over there
I don't know.
next to you on the couch?
No, no,
He had a shirt somewhere.
no. I didn't see him with a shirt.
He had one.
Right, that's what I was getting at. So again, if once they keep asking for money, they will never stop, on average.
No, he worked last night. Anyways, look at his stomach. By the way, he is only about 4 months old, and then Sarah is a miniature. She's the runt. But look at the difference in a 2 month difference of these two. He's going to be huge. I mean, look at his freaking.
Now, Karen, I can't find the comment right now, but Karen Billings did mention earlier that if they had, if they had this relations prior to him giving money.
I don't think any money was ever exchanged. In other words, I think they just did an online thing, and through Facebook was the initial problem. And you're so funny. The guy I've met before was a British national. All he did was want here in the Philippines, but she had told him no. The guy flat out just asked her for it. They've both been playing cards for a while. They probably have. Something tells me there's a lot more to the story. I think he was just telling the end of it. So he wanted to clear his conscience. I'm not thinking of the words. Lately, I've been having memory issues. They're probably tied to medical. What is the word they were looking for, like Peachback Mountain, when they affirmation. He wants to clear his conscience that he had left her, because I think there's more to it. Because if it was all straight up like it was, I think he's just looking to clear what was going on. Honestly, we all need money, yeah, right? Who doesn't need money? Who doesn't? But money is not enough, because people also need to be cared. They need affection. They need attention. We want it everything, and we want it all. And the person was like, duh, which is true. But I think in these relationships of the Filipina, because mostly it's the females, I really think they're looking for the whole package. They want the family. They want to start a family. Even with the old dudes, they want to start these families. They think if they start out with something more than what is being said about Filipino men, they tend to say they're players, they drink, they sleep around, and they're not exactly especially new generation. Maybe George's generation, they were worth a shit, but it's the new generation is complaining. So in other words, if they can land an A fam, as they call every single one of them, then they would be, gold. And then you got the scammers, but you processing.
Well, I mean, no offense to anybody in particular. It's like a market, and that's all it is.
It is a marketplace.
You're basically just selling yourself. And the problem with markets is, it's kind of like the more product is out there, the cheaper they get.
Well, that is true. If you think about it, there are a dozen sites now on TikTok. Literally, I've never seen. You guys, I bet you'd love to be a fly on the wall when I go through TikTok. Slut house,
No lie.
slut house.
No
Because
lie.
they put 6 or 7 Filipinas, and there's one desperate man in the middle of them, like they're on that talk show. What is it? What's the one Celebrity Squares they used to do? Not the tic-tac-toe, but it looks like the Brady Bunch setup. It's got one man and 8 desperate Filipinas talking about, well, I've only got one son, and I just ate some rice a little bit ago, and no, I don't like tea. And they're sitting there like, it's so much desperation going on. It's like regret, desperation, and fish going on in that room in more than one way. And I'm like, But I'm old and I'm judgmental and I'm like, I could not see sitting in a room that you come back and they're there 6 hours later, all of them, through the night, through the morning, not getting sleep, and they do all this shit. And there's all these damn dating sites. And then you have full YouTube channels putting out things where they line these Filipinas up for dating. And I said, I thought they outlawed this thing about matchups like this and mentioning marriage. And basically, in my opinion, it's a bunch of marriage broking going on the backside, which is illegal in the Philippines. So you have a lot of, yeah, there's a
It's
lot of
under the
competition.
anti-human trafficking
Right.
law.
So there's a lot going on, but it's the same with the expats. The moment they hit the ground, regardless, you have where you're seen as money no matter what. I just, if a person had any self respect, they would go through and date in a proper way, long term, vet the people. Can it still go wrong after that? The answer is yes. It happens all the time with the best laid plans. But I do feel that jumping into and using these girls and vice versa, I think is what's it, begotten gets begotten or something, or it's kind of like if they match up like a magnet and it all happens, I think it was a cause on both sides, cause and effect, or
Well, usually not necessarily, but it's kind of like a, what do you call that? You can't. Okay, there's the, well, I'm not gonna go into personal types or whatever. Just real quick, most simple and dumb thing. Um, uh, there's the girls that get attracted to the opposite, and same thing with the guys get attracted to the opposite. Um, Not necessarily a good thing for the most part, unless they know how to, you know, fix themselves. Then the relationship's not gonna work. Same thing, guys and get attracted to bad girls, and bad girls get attracted to guys. Same thing. Most of the reason for this is there's this, I can save her, I can save him, I can change him,
that was
I can
us.
change her.
Hmm.
Right. So these are the two major toxic relationships, and usually, I hate to say this,
Save a whole
when
tribe.
expats come here, this is the most common thing for a lot of reasons.
And the same with the simping ones where they drop $50 stickers on dancing girls that are doing dishes. That's toxic right from the beginning. You can't say she's talented and all of that. It's pure desperation
Well,
when you do
that's,
that.
yeah. Well, I mean, leading with your wallet. She
Toxic.
leaves with your wallet. That's
Yeah.
it's just
She's going to
simple.
do a dance.
In fact, like I know of a story. I'm not gonna give you. I'm just trying to give you the shortcuts. This has nothing to do in the Philippines, but here's the point, and here the reality is still there. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I believe this happened in. No, I think he's American. All right. So anyway, the guy was in prison, and the interviewer asked him, "What are you doing here?" He says, "Smuggling." And then she says, "Why did you do it?" "I had an expensive wife." "Oh, okay. So what happened to her? Are you guys still together? Does she visit you?" And he says, "No. She cheated on me with my best friend right before I got caught." The point being, there's nothing you can do on earth
Good morning.
to maintain and keep your partner. If they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. No different than attracting a partner. If you're trying to attract them with money, they're not going to stay.
Or Hooters.
Oh,
Hey, George, wait a minute.
I'll
He
stay.
said many men have weaknesses for Hooters like myself. Well, let me see. If there's a such thing as a weakness, and with the size of my Hooters, where would you be? Probably in the grave.
Right.
You no longer be weak. You'd be under the concrete. I got big jugs. Who's got big jugs?
Right.
So George would be George would be passed out. Show your pleasure trail there, George. There we go. Oh, look at that. What are they? Is that what they call that? What do they call that?
The love trail.
The love trail.
They say the longer it is, the longer you can last.
You don't have any hair at all. What does that mean?
Actually, I do. That's the only hair
You're
I
s-
have down there.
You're smooth like Tillicum.
No, babe. A lot of people mention that. But anyway,
Who's a lot of people? I just put a thing off Instagram yesterday that the guy was talking about. Anyways, the whole point is who's who? What you talking about, Willis? What do you mean a lot?
I mean, after
What do you mean
every
a lot?
time a client approaches me and they said, "How much?" and I just pull up my shirt. Oh yeah, I'm in.
Anyways,
Gotta
so
make that Christmas money again.
right.
Yeah.
So
Go fund
here's
me.
a Filipino saying, just curious, what is it you expect from these girls that could almost be your daughter's age? What are you expecting out of them when you're meeting up with them? Why go to another country where there's plenty of women in your backyard? Well, a lot of guys are claiming it's because the women are out of control in America and want too much money, and that they're, whatever we said, they're too independent. And that shit started back in the 50s and 60s. And just because a woman wants to be independent or has to, like in my case, I've had to take control since I was at a young age. So there's a level of taking control, or being, what it is the men can't handle certain women. So they take on women that they see as weak or prey, in my opinion. That's just being honest. And the women in the West do tend to be very brutal. And they were okay marrying the first two or three sets that they were with, or dating them their entire life. I think a lot of guys want to change. I think Filipinos are usually non combative, and they're passive and quiet and meek until things go south. But, women are women everywhere. And I think they are looking to lead with their wallet. Not all, but some. But I think they know that. But I think it's the same thing when Filipinos show up over there as the expats showing up here, where the women turn on the Filipinas that show up over there. Oh, they're just this and that. And, everybody's going to have an opinion when there's something different, or they're afraid, or they don't know they react in a strange way. It's kind of like, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. They're afraid of the unknown or what they don't know, so then they pick and they.
Well,
I'm kind of
the
hitting and missing here, Mike.
maybe this should be a different live, be honest with you, because it goes deeper than that, and I'm
Yeah, don't go too deep there.
no.
You
know
have to
what?
hold on to them Christmas balls.
No, no. There is a subculture, but yeah, no, that's a different story entirely. Let me type it down on my phone. So
Are you talking about for another topic?
yeah,
Okay. People shouldn't forget that unlike people in the Western countries, the family Filipinos value family above everything else. Now, I know when the guys are showing up here, that's not what they're thinking. I'm going to tell you, these 60-year-old guys showing up here isn't like, oh, she values her family. That's why I'm with her. You really think family value is in line with the first reasons these guys are dating these women? George, at this age, if you was in your mid 30s and coming here to start a family and you never been married before, maybe you'd be into that. It is nice that Filipinos have the family culture. They still have it in America, but you realize now these days, it's not like it was. You guys still think it's the 90s in the Philippines. People have lost their way since the internet. True story. Family values are here, but not. I'm noticing more and more that the families are having issues themselves. And so, but anyways, it says here, Filipino family values about, they value family about everything else and what's in their culture to help their family. They can also turn on each other really quick too. So don't be surprised if you meet someone and they're poor, that they expect you to help them as well. That's just it. In the West, it's it's not like these Asian countries. It's almost a demand on the kids, and that's unattractive to most men. It's they There has to be a level of desperation if you're giving a ton of money to them. Again, it's not all of them, but there's a good portion of them where this is time after time we keep hearing and talking to people that they have to give this amount of money to take care of the family. The fact that that 20 something year old is dating almost a 90-year-old, and her first comment when somebody said something to her, she responded, "You're a bitch. I love this man. He helps take care of my family." And I'm like, okay, so there's the value. It's like being with your grandfather. I get it. You can still create a family. I get it, because a lot of these guys can't function anyway. So it's not like Sex Fest 90 or something. So I get it that family's going to come first in here. So this person is bringing this up and about the women being here. He says, "Why don't you concentrate on just enjoying your travel and just being in a beautiful country and just do your retirement?" Which is true. Some of these guys that claim they're not coming here to date end up dating right away, impregnating people, leaving kids behind. And a lot of them don't even establish a check, money, or leave anything behind. No house, no nothing. They basically take the innocence of these young girls, leave them with the kid that they can only pray ends up on uh, GMA as a broadcaster or something because of their good looks, and it's sometimes just dead end.
Now,
Just
here's
dead
the
end.
number one factor
More coffee.
why these keyword desperate, okay, desperate Filipinas, why hang on and hold on to expats they most of the time they don't really want to be with. Again, I'm specifically talking about desperate Filipinas or Filipinos who don't really want to be with their partners because they're you can be desperate and really truly love your partner. But I'm saying there's a lot of them, and you can tell, and it shows. One, they're never around. Two, they don't show PDA. You know, three, they don't ask how you're doing.
How you doing?
Well, actually, we did ask each other that this morning. Um, no, no, it's true. I mean,
We do.
yeah. So what I'm getting at is, and usually I'm gonna be honest with you. The usual conversation me and Heidi occur the first of the day is about our health, about Heidi's health, about my health. I don't know if Heidi knows that, but it usually is.
No, we do. And then I get his coffee and his food. We're in some sort of regular daily thing. That's him, babe.
Right.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, yeah, just remember that. Pay attention again.
Well, and not every day is banging. So you don't have to marry a Filipina and then that's all you guys are going to do or feel that's what's going on. Like me and George said before, when you're in a relationship at this point in our age, there are a lot of factors that need to be considered. It really does. Um, this one here, his name's Oscar. He says the situation has problems on both sides. There's definitely a problem on both sides, but feel they could have been avoided altogether. Once I feel the need to block someone, he says, I don't go back. I feel I would have avoided that situation. So, yeah, I agree. I think it was on both sides. I think there's more to the story. Maybe he had already met up with her, and maybe he agreed to go to the family. Like, where were they going together on a bus? He wasn't just picking her up. Seemed like they were going somewhere possibly. Um, here's an expat couple that is here. It says, we had no kids, but I didn't need any money. But now we do have a baby, which I feel to be sad. I just have a problem with even a 15-year age gap of having kids. And these guys have health problems up there in age. And what you got going on there? Where'd the hanger come from? Oh, that was a hanger from your shirt. Oh, look who got your spot there, Dad.
I know they're so cute.
Oh, look, you can put on your sweater. Maybe you can fight him and put his sweater on. Ooh, baby, I feel
All right, so as I was saying, the number one reason why these
Oh, so sweet. I think we need more kitties.
don't start.
Hi,
I'm gonna
Krusty.
ship them to Abu Dhabi. The number one reason is because, again, this may sound obvious, but it's not. not to them. Again, the number one reason why these desperate Filipinos who don't really want to be with their partners is because
For
they
$1
think
a week, you can save these kitties, or we're eating them for Christmas dinner.
they think the moment they marry them, they get those death benefits. Period.
Mm.
The moment they sign those papers, they honest to goodness to God think they
Or
will
they're
get
sealing the
those.
relationship with the kid.
Well, no, babe, that's what I'm saying. They think they will get that death benefit like it's instant. They really
Yeah, it's
think.
not. Yeah, it's a lot to get that money.
And
Yeah.
these are not the dumb ones either. I'm talking about the. I'm not talking about some flunky or whatever. I mean, intelligent women, Filipino women, think this. They really think the moment they sign it, because you have to remember, one, it's not their culture. Two,
Oh.
it's not their laws. In fact, even expats don't know how it works for the most part. You have to, like, be married, and then you have to live over in the US for 3 years, that kind of stuff. A lot of expats don't even know this.
It says here, my now wife has never asked for any money. Here comes the but part. Her family did ask for money. It was weird. So his wife hasn't asked, but the family asked. One time it was supposed to be to have some church work done because of the rainy season. I hope he got that in writing. All right, it says here they paid him back, so that's good. Second time, a cousin had been stabbed and needed operation. According to him, he found out it was real. Hey, sometimes it's legit, guys. We're not saying it can't be. Local neighbors are always trying to put the squeeze on my wife, though. You're going to find that the neighbors, especially if you're in a province area or you get, hey, Pigsy, Pigsy. Pigsy's biting the back of the kitten's neck. It's the big yellow cat. Pigsy.
They're playing.
No, it is Love Bites, or she would leave. She's not
Yeah, but
leaving.
she's a drama kid.
She is Drama Kitty.
Yeah.
So it says here that if they don't give money to the neighbors, and we've heard this a bunch, then they start the gossiping and they start talking about you and they spread rumors and lies quick. So here are those sweet Filipinos that you guys keep thinking exist. In my opinion, it's the same everywhere in the world. You'll get that same shit in America. And so, or the neighbors don't talk to you at all. Not all, but some. So there's another one of those. If you don't give money, then things get kind of ugly. If you see a comment there, I'm just going through these. How much money were we even really talking about, anyways? And that's another thing. He might have only had a pension for like 1,000 peso or 1,000 US dollars. A lot of these guys are getting them from Australia and other countries where they don't even amount to 1,000 US total. I just seen some new vlogger, about 370 subscribers, Hispanic, gave a true budget. He was straight on 20,000 for his groceries. I think he said 4 or 5,000 for his electric, and it seemed legit. And then somebody came in and called him a liar. Oh, you can live for way less than that. Why are you spending
Oh,
15,000 on rent? You can live in something smaller, so you're spending way too much money. I'm like, ain't no motherfucker gonna ever be satisfied in this country. It's, there's your next live stream. It's a pissing match. There you go,
no, no,
pissing match
no.
Philippines. It's always a
Well,
pissing match
yeah,
between
I
these
always call them one-uppers.
and then you all bitch that we're bitching about other people. What it is your butt hurt. Your butt hurt because we ain't gonna stop. We gonna do these lives when we're gonna do them. We're gonna say what we're gonna say.
And
There's no reason to fake it till you make it, make things up or whatever, and then you're mad. It's,
yeah, and your readers and your viewers are not gonna call you out, but they know you're an one-upper.
yeah, and that's what they say we are. You're always this, and you're always making things up, and you're always backpedaling, and you're always talking about people. You're goddamn right, and we're gonna keep on doing it. We gonna keep on keeping on. Damn. Oh shit. Somebody called him out and says, "Hey, did you get rid of that 26-year-old you had been with, the one that's out by a pig farm in Davao?" Somebody sound like that a little personal too. See, here's the thing. Some of these people know these people that are talking shit. So that was that person's comment. Did you get rid of that 26-year-old? So sounds a little personal to me. Here's a female Filipino. I can see her photo. Let me guess. That Filipina is more than half your age. If she's a gold digger, what are you calling yourself? Yeah, what would we call the guys? What is a good name if she's a gold digger and he's contributing or knows it? These
Cradle
guys aren't.
robbers.
There it is. Cradle robbers and gold diggers on the next live stream.
That is what they call them. Cradle robbers.
So, well, I think there's another one. What do they call it, guys? Give us. I mean, I think cradle robbers is normal, but these guys can't be stupid. What were you thinking when you were trying to meet up with these guys? What do you call yourself and the other old hog? You guys are targeting young, vulnerable Filipinas and their weakness to get them. Are you they outright called them a pedo at this point. They're being called a pedo. I don't know, but this is a whole different person than the first person saying he's chasing young women. I didn't even look at the guy's account. I'm just reading the actual statement from the forum. Evidently, this guy's got a problem. I didn't even look to see if he's a vlogger. I don't want to get out of the comments. I'll check here in the end to see if he's a vlogger, because it seems to be they're mentioning another vlogger that's not popular. He thinks he's popular, but I see a reference to another YouTuber in here. So I'm wondering if this guy and him are linked out there in the country, and if this is based for his channel and he just thought he would go on the forum, and which is common, by the way. Everybody's self-important here. I'm just going to call them out. That's why you guys have a problem too.
Right.
I mean, what the hell? You want to get what?
Sorry, Sora says, "Dang, I'm a cradle robber."
Sorry, I didn't take that last one. Hey, Hillbilly Pyro. You can't paint everything with the same brush, male or female. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's different. Bookham Panay, what's going on? Western women have become too masculine and pushy, but you don't think those women don't exist here, and that Filipinas don't get hot-tempered, boss men around and do all that? The answer is yes. And you guys think you're perfect also. Let's put that out there, being there's a Western masculine woman. You call us masculine for what purpose? Because we're independent? Because we're doing things? If a man was masculine enough in a household and doing the things he was supposed to in the marriage, then we wouldn't have to man up in their spot, period. And I get so tired of hearing it's Western women only. They're so masculine. And I get what you're saying, but I wouldn't have had to if, certain people in my life would have manned up, from my father down to some of my husbands and boyfriends. I wouldn't have, if they were doing A, B, and C. I'm still in that old fashioned era where I do believe there's roles for each person, as there should be. These same guys are in my age bracket, are coming here and expecting the same, but sometimes get hit where the women aren't exactly little miss, homemaker either. They barely cook. They barely can do anything. So especially the younger generation, but I wouldn't be masculine if my man was masculine. That's where I feel about that. There are roles, and sometimes people have to step into those roles. I've seen men do things like the women wouldn't do dishes, or they wouldn't take care of the kids. They were the babysitter, or the soft touch in the house. Everybody has a balance. It's a matter of a balance.
No. The reason being, I was trying to keep quiet because that is an evolving subject. What I'm saying is it varies per culture, per situation, per relationship.
I think it's misleading that Filipinas
the reason
are
being
the answer.
is we're not okay. Here's an example. It's like
Hey,
paint.
Harry.
Paint in the 1920s and 19 during the 1900 to 1920s. There's only like about seven paint colors. Okay. What does that mean? You have your your usual Roy GB of colors. That's it. If you paint a house, you want it red. Okay, no problem. If a year later, you a car like banged into the side of your house, you get the same paint, you paint it, it matches perfectly. Doesn't matter what color it is. Same thing with cars. There's that gold paint for cars. Doesn't matter. Your car gets into an accident. That you buy a new can of paint, you paint your car gold, it matches.
Okay, you're losing me.
Right, I know that. I understand, but here's the thing. During that era, we had roles. Get it? What I'm saying,
Yeah,
in
you're
that
pretty black
era,
and white.
life
Yeah,
was simple.
very black and white.
Everything was black and white. Everybody had the same roles. In fact, again, I'm not downing my ancestors or our ancestors, but everybody had this job and that job only.
Right.
This job and that job. What I'm saying is that era is over. Now, paint, forget it. Good luck matching your paint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What I'm saying is, back then, a family unit, you can say, you stay home wife. And again, the example I give is like Archie Bunker. I mean, he's the typical Filipino American family. He wasn't even a supervisor. He's just some employee. I forgot where, but it's a low level job. But he owned his house, owned his car, yada yada yada, and that's it. And what I'm saying is,
Yeah, he was the man of the house because he was out working,
right, because
and
it
she was
works.
home, and it worked, and each person worked.
Right now, it can't. It's not.
And Ruby has the right word, assertive. Sure, I am. George even says, I've got the dynamics of a boss, but George has his roles too. But here's the thing what you guys don't know. I actually wait on George. I bring him his coffee. I bring him his plate of food. I remove his plate. I pick his clothes off the floor in the bathroom. He has his roles. He fixes things in the house. He goes out and does the major work that's around the house on the outside. So the roles, we both play roles. We just get the fuck done what needs to be done, and we don't sit around with this bullshit of blame.
Right. You have to
Bottom
be
line.
right, and that's what I was getting at. Nowadays, everything has to be fluid. Not like back
Mm-hmm.
then, everything's in a box.
Yeah.
Now it's fluid. You have to go with the flow.
And the relationship will change. We've both been married. This isn't our first rodeo. So, based on age and everything else, it's going to change. You guys are just making excuses why your shit doesn't work. Find the person that works with you and find what you need. A lot of you don't want to man up, own up, or take care of shit. You want the easy way out. So, hence, you go and try to hook on to these 19 and 20-year-old women, and you guys are trying to take shortcuts. There is no shortcuts. There is none. You guys keep watching these channels that show a perfect flow of how it's going to be, and then you get here and try to set it up and get married, mostly the Dumagetti groups, and you guys watch us and you think it's that easy. The Philippines is not for the weak. It's not. It just isn't. It wasn't okay for George back in the day or now. A lot has actually changed. It is not that easy. Throw everything in about living here as a foreigner and a relationship. You're then in a relationship of multicultural. You're in something, and these guys have never dated anything but an American woman. And so never even left their state. So it's different. It's different. So somebody else called out and said how much. They asked. My father and I will take half of whatever it is, though. And so you call this woman a gold digger, but your whole story shows that you were acting dishonest. You pretend to be interested, and then you abandon the woman at the terminal like a coward.
Huh?
If you felt she wasn't right for you and you knew all those things, you should have spoke to her like an adult. Yeah, he shouldn't have met up with her at all. That's yeah.
Yeah, I already knew it. I knew it was a woman.
Oh yeah. Well, because we still feel that it's I that's the first thing came out of my mind. he shouldn't have agreed to meet up with her, and I still think there was something off he's not telling.
Mm,
Yeah, I still think there is something. I think I'm officially going to go look at this guy's account. I bet you he's a big time vlogger, and I bet you there's something else off on what's going on, because it seems to be he's being called out time, and yes, he is. Um, the coward locked his account. His profile has been locked where nobody can see him. But he does have almost 4,000 friends. So if somebody's got 4,000 people on their account, there's something else going on. But yeah, you can't even look at his profile picture. But he does have a child in there with him. So he's got kids. And he does have a profile picture with a woman. So what the F is he doing? Right there's him and a woman on one side, him and his daughter possibly on the other side. It's a mixed child.
it could be the current one.
I guess.
No, not the one we're talking about.
Oh, okay. You're talking about he's with actually somebody.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why not?
so he's
Why
got
not?
his account locked.
Different zip codes. Doesn't count.
You can't even go to see him, but he is being referenced to somebody out in Davao. It's another vlogger that's called out for scamming and stuff. It's been talked about in the dark troll rooms. So his name's been mentioned in here. So he's got some sort of ties to farmer in the Philippines. If you guys even know who he is, they claim he runs different businesses, asks for money, doesn't do the right taxes. He's been picked on forever. But they keep referencing him to knowing him and referencing this guy allegedly for dating young women out there. There's something going on in the conversation where people are coming out telling his business, and his profile's locked. So it seems to be a legit, this isn't a made up thing. So, because people would never reference back to that type of vlogger unless something was going on. But here's a guy, you guessed it was a woman. This is a guy saying you don't owe anybody in life an explanation. But see, to me, that would seem passive for a man just to say blah, blah, blah. He should have just not went with her, and he should have said, hey, I'm leaving. But I guess that's a woman's feelings.
Okay. Here's the reason why
They said
he doesn't and should not give her an explanation. The women will probably be yelling at me right now. Again, hashtag cancel George or
Pound cancel George.
all right. Here's the
Hi,
thing.
Pigsy.
The thing is, again, women, sorry about
Hey,
this.
Scott. Good morning.
The thing is, women don't want answers. Reality. Women do not want answers.
Well, maybe except for me. I'd rather have it flat up front. I'm not normal.
Women don't want answers.
Part man.
And when they ask you a question,
We want to be coddled and told in between.
when they ask you a question, they really don't want the real answer. Okay. And when you give them a truthful answer, you're lying. If you don't give them a truthful answer, then obviously you're lying. And therefore, ergo,
There's
the
no right.
best way to explain is
Run.
not to explain.
I think
That's an oversimplification, but
Yes,
in a
it
nutshell, that's it.
I think that's where I'm at. I hate to say it, you're not normal in the realm of men I've ever been with, married to, or dated, and I think I'm kind of out there for you. Somewhere
This
we've
has
discussed.
nothing to do with us.
No, I got that. It's I guess a harsh truth. So it is a harsh truth. Guys, real quick, if you haven't done a thumbs up on this channel for this live stream, let's get this live stream kicking by letting us know what you think. For those that missed the beginning of this, we're talking about a guy that met a girl online through Facebook. He had an issue where she asked for money almost right away. He blocked her. She created another account. He talked to her for a little bit and then agreed to meet up. We're missing some of the story in between. They were somewhere at a bus station and he just left her there, but he claimed he gave her money, as I'm to understand the story I originally read. He gave her money and food money to send her back home. What was the agreement why they met up? Supposedly it took her 10 hours for them to meet up. He thought they were going to be, I guess she asked to travel to go see her family or something, but I guess they were trying to move the things along. But point is that he, in the end, just left her there and said, as he had said, that's why there's a photo of him and his daughter, because he said that he had to go do something and then he just left. Most of the comments are he abandoned her there. That was kind of my first thought. He shouldn't have met with her at all if she had been asking for money. What else? Could they have had a relationship before? Was this the third, fourth, 10th time they met up? I think there's a story as part of it's missing.
I agree.
And so there were a ton. This was on fire with over 1,000 comments. A lot of them are Filipinos saying, oh, here's another one. Why didn't you just man up? Why didn't you just tell her the truth? Most of them are coming from Filipinos. I'm opening the accounts. People shouldn't forget. Let me see. Did I read this already? Oh, enjoy the country. Yeah, it's because I scrolled up for a minute. I'm trying to get to because there's 1,000 of them. It's okay if you paid her round trip bus ticket. I had similar experience there, but never lost my smile. When my date had her 2 cousins and a female friend with her, plus she had a baby with her, which very common. You can find out a Filipino will omit a lot of things, and you have to find out later. It's because you never asked her, did she have a baby? You might want to take the time. If you ask a Filipino if they have a baby, she probably will tell you at that point. But if you don't say, hey, do you have a husband you're still married to and a kid? She'll never tell you. You might
Right.
move in with her and everything else. But here it says she even brought her baby with her. They asked us to buy lots of baby stuff for the baby. So I just gave him a ticket back. So this person said he did the same thing, gave him a ticket back and said, sorry, I don't like surprises. And he said he sent her back right away. So,
No, it's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Now, here's the thing, too. Speaking of surprises,
Surprise, surprise. I only
if you
got $4 in
cannot
my bank account.
afford to make a trip, the trip itself, the cost of the ferry or flight or whatever, and the food and accommodations, whether it includes a hotel or not, to and back to your meeting point is, you should never, ever, ever freaking go. Do not take a one-way trip. Always assume it's a two-way trip and you're gonna foot the freaking bill. Okay? Because guess what? What if this girl flew all the way to the freaking airport and the guy doesn't actually exist?
Yep, it does happen.
Happens a lot. Not just to girls, happens to guys, or guys flying all the way from the US. They land in freaking Manila and she does not exist.
Good morning,
Happens a
Scott.
lot. So,
Nothing wrong with that. It can be an asset. Overinflated ego, sense of worth. Social media gives them. Most average women want way too much. No, it's all of them. It's American women, it's Filipino women. The internet has destroyed life, period. I can debate that all day with somebody on how, if we could just take the internet away, it would level a lot of this stuff out. Guys would enjoy the country more and not listen to a dozen people's crap. And I think, like me and others, it's just part of the, monkey see, monkey do. Envy is really bad now. People are spending way more money than, that are beyond. Even the Filipinos are doing it like, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of money we see spent just to do social media, and they don't have it. You see their houses are half eaten up, but they have 4 or 5 purses and a bunch of expensive, like they're demonstrating all this food. And I'm like, that was like 1,500 pesos worth of food they're showing off in a mukbang, but they're broke. So it's like people are going beyond their means to look better than they actually are. And I think the women, the dating, the men, it's just a lot going on when it comes down to what social media, the pressure,
well,
and
that's another thing. Social media makes things worse.
Mhm.
Because, okay, here's the thing. Some of you may or may not be aware. There's this movement, red pill, blue pill, and it's not just the men, it's not just the women, and not only that, a lot of them are not real.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, a lot of them are just bots. A lot of them are fake accounts. The comments on are fake. encourage crap. They encourage
Right.
bad
I mean, the person could be
behavior.
real,
It's
but they're giving you bad advice.
yeah. This person said to run. This other person said I wouldn't have abandoned her. Sounds like a lot of wasted time. You dipped, but totally it's understandable. You saved yourself a headache and money. Always trust your gut, which is true. I would kind of agree on that side of he abandoned her, but you don't want to be gutted like a fish if there's a family member that got offended if she made a phone call all of a sudden. You know, you are still in a third world country. Get the fuck over yourself when I say that. Never trust anybody, even when you think you trust every Filipino here. People can turn on a dime here,
People have expired for
America.
less.
Right. So, you know, just by the way, I have to ask George something. Remember that statement I sent to you that the president was talking about bringing back the good old days?
I don't know.
Is that real? Did they used to have that?
This president or that president?
No, any president. Did that punishment exist before? What they're talking about doing?
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so they're talking about bringing back. It's not corporal punishment. What do they call that type of punishment? They're not talking about leaving them in jail over this money situation of the contractors that ripped off the country and the corruption thing. They're talking about bringing back an old way of doing away with them. I'm like, oh, god damn, that's a gang, man. So they're talking about getting tougher. So what I'm saying is, you guys think you have it. If you ain't tough, just stay at home. If the Western women are a problem for you, don't even bother coming here.
What is it?
Ensaimada.
What's an ensaimada?
Ensaimada is basically, it's a biscuit and they put butter and cheese on top of it. It's weird. I thought it was odd when I got here.
So you taste it.
Yeah, and then it's actually, we got those from Walter Mart. Pretty good price. I think 8 of them was $1.25. So it was a pretty good price for breakfast. So no, if you think that the women that are too butch for you are a problem, good luck. Because that's what I'm saying. That's the least of your problem. At least this butch lady, you know, believe me, you guys have no idea how good George has it. Look at George living all. George is like, I got it good.
I'm here, Aaron.
Right. But look at you. Oh, look at you. Oh. I got to keep him in bonbons and stuff, you know, ice cream balls, Christmas balls. There's Pigsy, guys. Say hi, Pigsy. How big she's getting, making her appearance. So. Oh, she's after the bread. Where's she at? Hold on. That's what she's after. Hold on. Where is she at? She probably wants to lick on.
She
can have a piece of cheese. Actually, the bread won't hurt her. It's just butter and cheese. As long. Oh, see how she did. She was trying to be nice. She put her paw on your. Oh, you can just give her a few pieces of cheese. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So. Sorry I can't tune in today. I'm working. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, what's going on? I was curious. What do you think of the new law about no dual citizenship? It's a good chance that's going to go through. The U.S. Embassy made a statement about that. I looked into it. I was talking to George about it last night. I'm going to let you answer this here in a minute. But the dual citizenship and the other thing we were discussing was birthright citizenship for foreigners in America. I didn't realize so many countries didn't offer it, and I'm kind of for it in the sense that they should have to register because they don't have it here in the Philippines. So what's good for the goose should be good for the gander of Filipinos that have kids over there. I think they should hold the natural citizenship and actually do their thing. But the dual citizenship, I don't understand why he's doing that. I heard he's just trying to withdraw.
Right. Well,
yeah, but yeah. You got butter on your lips there, butter lips.
Now the birthright thing, I kind of agree on that one. The reason being is it is a thing that pregnant women go to the U.S. just to deliver their babies, so it's like a loophole. So I kind of agree with the birthright citizenship.
Yeah,
now,
because if the mother is a citizen and goes through all that, pays, test out, then her kid is born a citizen.
Yes,
correct?
but
Correct.
if-
So for the ones that are on a green card or vacationing.
Yeah, it's like
And
Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's parents are, well, Chinese,
and then
so
he ended up an American anyway. So I told George that, there's a lot of things that I agree with the current president, and this is one of them that I do feel. You guys can get upset as you want on this hashtag cancel both me and George. Is that there's a lot of people calling themselves American. I don't get to call myself Filipino and apply for Filipino citizenship. You know how many YouTube channels have the word, that they're Filipino? And I'm like, George is like, ugh. I still feel the same with people calling themselves Americans and stuff, that
now the dual citizenship thing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree with me. Yeah, I know it's a messy snack. All right, the dual citizenship thing, and again, a lot of people will agree with me. First off, they should leave whoever's already sworn in. That's just dumb that you reverse crap.
no, that's true.
That's a big
Whatever's
mess. That affects everybody
so
involved.
he's talking about stripping it even
If
if they
you
paid already, not
well,
from
what
here
I'm saying
forth.
is they shouldn't do a retro, but Lord no.
Yeah, it's hard saying
But
these days.
anyway, now moving forward, aka no, see that's the thing. I could have sworn they will reverse it.
I think they're going to reverse everybody.
But
So
that's what I'm saying. They shouldn't for a lot of reasons. One,
let me find what the embassy they made a state. I'm going to get out of these current comments. I guess I can come back to
all right, okay, again, not
because there was a statement explaining what they felt about
again,
it.
this is not an opinion thing. It's just the way things are happening. First off, for the future generation, if they get rid of the dual citizenship, the most probable thing that will happen is other countries will not allow Americans to have dual citizenship in their country. So in the end, it's actually screwing over the actual real Americans. If that makes any sense.
Well, it won't here because you're never. It's rare anybody will be able to say dual. And I think Kulas was the last one, and I think he decided to get rid of the Canadian or something. But here's the thing: can I ask
Well,
your
that's what I
mom?
said.
What about your mom, sister?
That
and-
will
what about
screw over the Americans.
what about your mom and sister and all them? I
What
don't
about
know.
them?
I don't know what they're. I was just asking if they were. Or, okay, sorry. What? Okay, excuse me for living for it's part of the because if they okay, let's assume that they are or they aren't. Wouldn't it mess with returning for retirement or full moving here again? Don't they want to keep a reason for benefits?
Okay, first off, before you get to there, I thought you were looking up to see if they'll retroactively do it. Before Heidi gets to that answer, the problem with the retroactive act, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And if you can't figure out why that's the dumbest shit I ever heard, nothing personal. Again, it's not personal. Shit rolls downhill. AKA, for example, if you retroactively
they
pull,
removed it.
if you retroactively pull somebody's citizenship, that citizenship is gone, and therefore the next citizenship down is gone, and the next citizenship is down is gone. So basically, you're gonna end up with a bunch of immigrants. Get it? Even though
They removed it. They pulled it. It just went out
right,
yesterday.
Well,
We
what I'm
pulled it.
saying
It's
is,
gone. They withdrew a
they
post.
if they do pass it, which they shouldn't, but if they do pass it, they should not do a retroactive act because that is just dumb. It's a nightmare. And now again, nothing. Whether you're pro or against, just sit there and think about it. Think about the entire family trees that are based on immigration. They will collapse. It just doesn't make sense. Again, this is logic here. This is no whether it's right or wrong. It's not an opinion. It's basically you're destroying, entire family trees all across America if they do the retroactive thing. Now moving forward, aka if they decide, okay, no more dual citizenship, either you choose this or this, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was something in here. It was withdrawn from their site. There's a bunch of people talking about it, but I don't see. There they are talking about the proposed, what it's supposed to be. The embassy further notes that previous challenges to dual citizenship and multiple citizenship has not materialized. In 1952, the Supreme Court stated that dual citizenship is a status long recognized by law, and that a person may have and exercise the right of nationality in two countries and subject to the responsibility to vote. So the fact they're challenging it now all of a sudden, we just found out the other day was that law that was enacted. What year did I say? Somewhere in the late 40s or 50s. The women that were overseas at one point, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but they actually woke up to find out the women that were in a foreign country, say they were here in, the Philippines or Egypt, and a lot of women were in France and Germany. They had found out they lost their citizenship overnight. Like literally, they no longer had the option to go into America all of a sudden. Like they were pretty much, if you were married to the foreigner, you were that foreigner's um, citizenship. Like everything was revoked from the women back then. I think it was 1949. It stayed like that for like 2 years. I guess they had to go in and establish something with the embassy or something if they were even able to get back to America. But it was one of those woke bullshit things that they just, if you left America and married a foreigner, you had no rights anymore. And it was just weird. I was like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. But yeah, so
Right. Now, Thora nailed this one
oh,
on the
thank you
head.
so much. Thank you so much. How do we say that? Agent?
AI.
Oh, AI agent. So I was like, agent.
Yeah.
Agent. AI agent. Thank you so much. Thank you for answering me. I 100% agree with Heidi and George on both issues. Still a family membership. Sign up if you haven't. This channel
Oh, okay.
doesn't hold back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Thanks so
mean,
much.
I appreciate it. No, you guys either love us or hate us. And we appreciate that. Again, after we had our last live stream and answered those questions, we had about a dozen channels fire back. And I'm like, the more you have a problem with us and you name call or point out that we're misgiving information or you're hurt over something, it's the more that it makes us happier. It really does, because it's self promotion, it's love and everything. But we know people do like watching, and yeah, so it's just
Yeah.
where it is.
Now, here's the thing.
But
Thora
thank you.
nailed it on the head. And I've always wondered about this.
Hey, what's going on? I want to sorry, babe, real quick. Ugly Tourist is in the room. We do want to say congratulations again on the baby. Baby is beautiful. The Ugly Tourist is another one. In my opinion, there's only so many channels that I can even stomach or say that in one form or another where I feel that connection. And the Ugly Tourist, I think, is pretty legit. I like his editing, and he's got a cute little kid. A little weird, a little strange, kind of reminds me of some of my family members, like some of my cousins, but I think that's the connection I have. But congratulations. So
Yeah, congratulations.
thank you for being here.
Now, Thora nailed it in the head. This should be law. It doesn't matter how lowly it is, but all government officials should be U.S. citizen, non-dual citizens only, aka mayors, governors.
Oh,
You know
they
what I'm
allow
saying?
that in America?
Yeah, mayors.
Hmm. I guess, I agree that the borders needed cleaned up, without a doubt. I believe in due
The what's her
process.
name? The
Due process to what they're doing out in the waters and dropping things on those boats, all of that. Due process, people. I believe in that. I also believe that also people need to be there legally. They need to do their stuff, but they needed to be treated with respect. But I also feel there's all kinds of crap that's going on there that should be straightened up. I think A lot of the European countries, I don't even think deal with that crap. I think they just don't deal with any of it, and I think that's what Trump is trying to do. But I think he's doing it the wrong way. I think but some of it needs to be cleaned up on this. It really does, and it may upset people. And we've got long histories of foreigners in our family. I'm married to one, married to two previous ones, and I do feel there's a stage that things need to be taken care of. Most definitely. What was you
Oh no.
guys? Make sure you're doing the thumbs up and comment like what you think, what we're talking about all the way around, and join the conversation. Let's get some more people in the room with like-minded thoughts and get people in here and get the algorithm kicking. It helps the channel. Hey, Tommy Boy is in the house. Yeah, take
Hey,
one
Tommy
for the
Toy.
team.
Right?
Oh, go ahead and hit that button, anyways. Second one. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'll have to have George find a podium so we can actually have it. We're gonna have to find something that's high enough.
Well,
To,
Flora says, yeah, money talks in politics. Money talks in everything.
yeah, and it could be all about money. I don't know. The country was built on foreigners. Foreigners will always be there, and it's all got to be done the right way. I think it's gotten out of control. I think, that's why I was saying that, everybody's calling themselves an American. And I know you're right. There are some that aren't even full citizens that are holding positions, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and then it's like, on the other hand, I'm kind of happy that people should be given a chance, but you ain't going to get that chance in most European countries, and here in Asia, you can just forget about it. If you don't have somebody that's already 3 generations into a position here, and you just ain't going to get into those, and as I feel it should. But that's old, I guess, some old fashioned thinking. But I still think you should at least be a citizen and long term and meet qualifications and take one for the team. Da, 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 da. I guess I got too far. Laura's in the house. And thank you guys. Consider membership. I think we're down to one that's like definitely less than a cup of coffee. Actually, not for you guys. For us, it is. It's a cup of coffee. It's less than $2 a month. And we're going to be moving other videos there, but there's 100 other videos from us in Mexico, and we put different things in that. So consider the membership also. And you can gift memberships. There's something at the bottom of your phone that can give the holiday gift of memberships. They give them out also, you guys. So people can get in there. Mary Jane Papa Pass. No fool like the old fool. No fool like an old fool. Yeah, Slick saying, talking about. What does that? Cold, Slick Rick, cold. It's been fairly cool in the morning here. We're reading 75 in the house. I don't know what it is outside. You were saying earlier what the temps were. Dun, 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 dun. 80 degrees.
No, that's it.
What's that?
Only the president and vice president.
What's that? So they're the only ones that have that qualification, so you can be mayor. So another Mandomni might actually be dual. So there's a good chance being he's only one.
And the vice president. That's it.
So Mandomni or whatever in New York, he could be dual, and he could, yeah. Yeah, he was actually born in a foreign country and running New York. So it's if this was the 60s and 70s, they'd be screaming bloody murder on different things that foreigners were taking over and stuff. And I'm kind of mixed on some of that. That could just be me not being modernized and just. But I don't have problems, on the other hand, with foreigners.
Well, not siding with Mandami.
Not trying to whitewash the country either, but
he's
not trying to bring back the old guys in white outfits.
He's not doing things the right way, period.
The end. It's
nothing to do with
let's not get on
taking
that.
sides or going against his side. Practice. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, that's just gotten out of control. Yeah, simps are making it worse for all of us.
No, it is because here's the thing.
Is she hungry?
Um, whenever your girlfriend breaks up with you, you're in the Philippines. The end. But now, honestly, I hear it from a lot of foreigners that no, they want an alimony or some crap like that. I don't know.
Gio has said out loud he has given money. I remember that when I first got in the country, and I was like, "What? That simp gives his girlfriend's money when he moves on." He says it makes it easier to transition to the next girl to let him go. Yeah, he doesn't want to hurt their feelings, so he pays for their bills for a while. I was like, "Oh hell
Yeah,
no!"
about 6 months.
Which I get it. He's probably trying to avoid. He's probably had some psycho girlfriends. I'm not even kidding. You guys don't think these Filipinas aren't psychos? Sorry. Crazy is crazy. Women are women.
Yeah, no, that's just dumb. It really is.
I can't imagine any man that does that in America. What man has done that? Even if he has money, they're not going to pay 6 months
Well,
worth of
actually, the ones
bills.
that do have money don't will never ever do that.
Yeah. Hey, Jose, when you feel like you're low on something like money, you're obsessive about it. I would agree. I'm going to, usually I see you make a lot of good comments and I'm going to answer on that. I have found, I told George the other day, I am becoming obsessed. The older I get, and even though we have X amount in the bank, I'm now obsessed on what's being spent. We were not like this 7, 8 years ago when we met. Like, literally, don't I? I'm like, oh my God, that went up by 100 pesos or $2. And I know most people are like, when we've heard them say it and bitch about, oh, well, Philippine Antics is broke. If they've got to bitch about $2, then they're broke. No, sometimes it's the principle of the thing. Speaking of the principle, there was a guy that I just seen where I guess at Home Depot, have they already gotten rid of the pennies in America? Can anybody?
Yes.
Okay. So they're not changing the tax. So if something is, he said his price was $15.51 was supposed to be his change, not the price. Sorry, it was the actual change that was to be given back. They took the penny away from him. Here's the thing: you let something go like that. I thought it was easy just to let it go. He got a nickel back in the end because they wouldn't give him the 1 cent. And he said that if Home Depot does that to every single person, three pennies, 2 pennies, they're going to come ahead by the end of the day.
Technically, what Home Depot, Walmart, all these companies should just flat out the prices, get rid of the pennies.
Which in the end, they're still getting your money. So they're just rising one way or the other. They're still going to get the
No,
money.
no, no. That's why it's kind of pointless to argue because the logical conclusion is they're gonna round them up anyway.
Hmm. So, but he did pitch a fit, and I thought it's crazy. But the older I get, I understand. And the difference is we're dwindling on savings. We still have the savings, but my problem is there's no way to replace that. And somebody indicated the other day, and someone responded that I misspoke about something the other day. And you got to understand, I read hundreds of comments. George does. We get messages, email, Facebook, and all that. They still considered you working full time and not enjoying your retirement. This is not full time work. It's not. We're not those vloggers doing a daily video, daily live stream and editing and doing all these things all the time, 24/7. So it's kind of not like that. You still have the gaming channel, but he is still considered retired and everything. But I become obsessed because I can't replace this money anymore. At least in America, could do something if I needed to, okay? Or George could go and get 1 or 2 jobs. So I guess that's where I feel a little bit more. And I think it's my older age where I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, truck stops, they're very far in between, and lot lizards are a little rare here.
George is a full time lizard. Say it, Ribbit,
Tell me about it.
like that. Your lips are dry, George.
I will suck yours.
I'm gonna suck the soul. George is sucking the souls out of people for Christmas time. So be sure to send 1999 And I'll slap him for a $20 sticker right now. We're trying to raise money for George to really get nipple piercings for his GoFundMe
Yep.
account.
Salty hot dog, 100 pesos. Sweaty balls, 75 pesos. Salty balls, 50
Fish balls.
50 pesos.
We got to simp it up for you guys. Wake up. And if this is too much for you, then don't watch. I guess I can put the camera on George washing dishes to
Rim
wake you
jobs to
guys
be
up.
discussed later.
Who doesn't like money? Somebody the other day was bitching about that. Oh, there's antics again asking for money. You're goddamn right. It's like, who doesn't want money? It's the holiday. I got to take George on a New Year's vacation this year. I don't know about Candy Palace. We talked about it. When? Hey, Scott, are you still in the room? When is he arriving?
Oh, I'm not
should
going
be
to
in-
say it on air.
Well, I got that, but it's pretty soon. So I'm pretty sure during that time, is that where he's possibly. Anyways,
Well,
you don't have to mention it.
he's got a few stops.
Okay, so yeah, any of the funds we use is to go places and go out to the things we record. It goes right back into the channel and the pets. So on the serious side, we do put everything back in there. May I ask what happened to Kevin and Jenilyn? Have no idea. And Bordella 9915, you don't seem familiar. I don't know who Kevin and Jenilyn is. Have no idea. Couldn't even. Was it somebody we had covered before?
I think so.
And by the way, we're up to 40 kgs of cat food a month for the outdoor cats, indoor. Oh, did you see that video I'd sent you on the guy? The guy's got like 100 pets inside and outside that he takes care of. There's so many. So technically, we're somewhat a rescue here. And then we give monthly to the other shelter that's here. We've been doing that for years. So give yourself permission to fail. If you never fail, you never learn. If you never learn, you never will grow. No, it's all about that. And I think some people are seeing you have to. What we say may not fall on, the right ears, and you're going to. What was I telling you yesterday? That when I got here, I was 90% bitching about everything. Probably just when I was asleep when I wasn't. I used like, God damn, it's hot and it's loud and the traffic and I can't deal with this. And we were dealing with the COVID lockdown and we were dealing with other expat crap. And with the channel, we were getting a lot of flack. And I'm like, I'm about ready to go nuts. I thought on the occasion I was up and out of here. And then I'm like, no, we already sold everything. We're already here. And, and tough it out. Now I told him there's definitely been personal growth. Just because you hear me bitching about it. I mean, because I told him now I don't hardly hear the noise outside. I'm like, just another day situation. And I told him, what did I tell you yesterday? It feels like home here. Didn't I say that?
Yes.
And it does now. Almost more so that I've been here 5 years than being at home. And we were 6 months or more in Mexico. So it's, been a little bit since I've been back. And so, I'm like, damn, the rent's cheap and I can afford things. That's where I'm at. So but no, you have to have that personal growth. Hey, what's going on? Black Grandpa is in the house. What is going on? Yeah, social media and the internet has ruined family values worldwide. It has. It all the way has. And now, in my personal opinion, with this AI dolls that you can create to bend over, bounce, and do where you can control them, how they act and all that, that just made those creepy pedophile guys even worse. They can do, it's just a lot going on. And I think that the family values more than ever out the door. And I think the algorithm, like George said, we were talking about algorithm, that I watched one woman that was in that old woman in that bikini or something, and then they fed me every old Filipina here. Most of them were mostly undressed. Then yesterday it flipped me into a Filipino man that was in a thong. You could see his butt cheeks, and the guy had to be 240 pounds. He was a really big Filipino, bouncing and slapping his butt cheeks on Facebook in a video. And I'm like, who asked for this? Who wants this, or who even thinks this is even necessary to put their personal business? And I'm like, I'll never get that out of my head. It was like, what pushes these people to go over the top like that? It was pretty nasty. I tell you what, it was like a flashback, like Vietnam or something. It was like some sort of bad flashback. I'm like, I thought about that this morning, and I'm like, I could almost smell that shit. It was that bad. I'm like, that is nasty. So you're getting all this bullshit on social media now that is just too much, and it's definitely ruining everything. It's and then it almost makes it acceptable to let your man cheat on you now. The Filipinos are cheating, the Americans are cheating, the husbands and wives are cheating. As a matter of fact, I was just watching Grey's Anatomy, and there's a level of wokeness that I can't handle. Like, they officially have, and I'm probably going to hashtag cancel Heidi, the whole season this year is men on men and women on women. And I'm like, when did all the shows flip over like that? I don't mind the openness and I'm not against that. But literally, after I watched the guys, they're having a married couple. They're showing that it was okay for them, for her to go off with a woman in Grey's Anatomy. And then it was okay for the husband. He went off with a girl, and then they got home and they were kissing on each other. I said, that's only showing people that it's okay. It was totally crazy. So there's a level of wokeness that I cannot accept. And it does give people ideals. And then it's also on the internet itself. So
No, I mean if it's done naturally, I understand. But the problem is most of the time what you see in
that's in
social
front of
media,
kids.
it's not
That's prime
natural.
time.
It's not.
That's prime time. We had shit, I told George, where they would do, you get home from school and it would have an after school special. And I had to explain to you about the after school specials when they came on, somewhere 2, 3 o'clock when you got home. And they announced at the beginning, like I've added that to the antics playlist of old television. They said out loud, has your kids done your homework? Has your kids done their homework today? And parents, be sure to check with them. I'm like, you son of a fucking bitch, what did you just say? So in other words, the broadcaster would announce that there was a show up and coming, and he would announce, has your kids done your homework? And I'm like, son of a bitch. And so it was like busting my balls, man.
Oh, it's kind of like after watching He-Man, and then in the end, there's like a lesson. Like, hey, Shira, would you like to touch my rod? But He-Man, that is wrong. Something like that.
I thought you were gonna do it till we meet again. Till we
Oh.
meet again. That has nothing to do with a jerk reminding my mother to check my homework and to do my homework before they let me watch some corny after school special about smoking dope and sucking on cat nipples.
And knowing's half the battle.
Now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Uh, yeah, remember the lesson, not the disappointment. I think I'll remember both. Thank you, George.
Well, you can't get disappointment if you have low expectations.
That happened last night.
Whoa. Low blow.
Here, have some here. There you go. You went out for
Oh, this pandesal that I got this morning.
yeah, you went out for pandesal. Very
How is
sweet.
it?
Don't expect no pork chops. You're gonna have pandesal only for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See if I bring you anything today.
No. They're good. I have no doubt. It's just that I just had that inside my head, and that's very feeling.
Love without freedom is just attachment. There it is. True story. Thera said, my partner and I got squeezed out of 11,000 from our neighbor. Another paid their 10,000 when he died from his family. Oh, you helped with the funeral. Yeah, see, that's when we were at the other place, we specifically got hit up by a few people, but I'll never forget the last one right before we moved. We never seen the money, but it was a lower amount. But he still, like, we were helping the one person, and she started sending family members over to us. And I'm like, oh, so, and I get that people need help. But at that point, if you give money here, you might as well expect it to be gone. So, call them desperate and lonely. A second win. I spend what I want, do I want, eat rice and chicken. Yeah. I think it's the principle for me because the costs are going up. I don't know if I mentioned already that there was this guy that asked to come into our feed on Facebook, and one of his posts is he's selling like 4 cinnamon rolls from home with some icing on it, and they're almost 500 pesos. I said, "Screw that shit, man! I am not paying somebody 500 pesos." I know, George, this is what I'm talking about. Your sleep. He was up all night again. He's having a hard time on the sleeping thing. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, we're gonna. But yeah, I just can't see that. To me, it was a principle of a thing that who are these people that think there's Cinnabon on a coconut tree situation that they're selling at these costs? Costs have significantly rose, and I get
the mom and pop stores.
yeah, the guy offering to deliver a cinnamon roll with cost at almost 500 pesos for 4 of them. I'm not paying $2 US. Okay, when a good wage here is 20, 30,000 a month, I'm not buying 4 cinnamon rolls for that cost. Like we were covering, they were saying that the Filipinos should be able to meet that 500 peso Noche Buenas or something, the Christmas Eve dinner. A ham is actually a small one for 2 pounds, okay, is 600 pesos. So how am I going to give you 500 pesos for 4 cinnamon rolls out of your stingy kitchen? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I mean, it'd be like our cat's making them cinnamon rolls or something. I just can't see it.
Who came up with the 500 anyway?
I don't know, but people are charging out the yingas for stuff. The markets, everything has gone up. Everything has gone up several US dollars per item. We just noticed everything for Christmases. And I know it's Christmas, but I've been here for 5 years. This is the worst increase. But do you think that has anything to do with the tariffs in the US and how things are being sold all over the world and the flow of stuff stopping there? So they're raising the prices here in China?
Yeah, it's a mixture.
They said, I'm not even going to go into the cost effect that they were talking about.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I like that pamper players. Oh, you payers. Dang, I'm a cradle robber. Yeah. Yeah, we're down there. 20 years not married because I ain't desperate. There it is. Oh, there it is. A hit dog will holler.
That doesn't sound right, but okay.
No, there's a meaning for that. So I
No,
get it.
no, no,
Just
no, no.
yelp
no, I
out
know.
for me, babe.
Arr, arr, arr.
That's pretty much what it is. But it sounds like make me a sandwich. He ain't getting no sandwich today. He was gonna get some pulled pork, but looks like he's got busy things to do today. He's got big boy stuff to do. I bet he don't make it past his nap. You need a nap, babe.
Yeah.
I
I don't
here's the
usually say
thing.
that, but
I
yeah.
bust his chops all the time about like it seems like I'm riding him, and it probably am. I ride him, but it is for the better because if not, George will stay up for 3 days at a time doing his stuff. He doesn't know when to slow down or. And then, like last night, he took something like melatonin to go to sleep. He took it at the last minute, and I said, "You can't." I can't stay up to watch him. And then he takes it late at night at like midnight, and then he's up a couple hours later, and I'm like, "Oh my god." So yeah, but with retirement and not doing full time and getting in a car and going to work every day, I guess he's afforded to do this. But I know he's tired. George is always tired. That's why he's usually not on here, but he's been trying to attend a lot more. So yeah, if you see, of course, we had the ugly tourist on here. So I'm just. Yeah, and that's where Thera said U.S. government officials should not be dual.
No, they shouldn't because they could be just plants.
Thought people born after 73 in the Philippines, at least one American parent, were dual citizens. Not sure. I mean, I know people apply. It's not automatic. They just don't, whatever, but they have to go in and file some stuff. So, yes. So I guess I overspoke about just becoming citizens. It's not natural.
Well, it's not automatic.
Yeah. And I
Unless
think
you're
they have
natural.
to,
Yeah.
and it also depends on all of it. I don't have all the information, but I'm pretty sure the dad has to sign off, blood testing. There has to be full a lot of things to
Yeah,
get their
that's what I mean.
passport.
It's not automatic. Yeah.
And I don't think if
Unless you're born and
there's
raised here. Yeah.
10 kids, I doubt 2 out of 10 are even getting registered. A lot of them are left behind, a lot of them. And I believe the law is if they're not done by a certain age, they don't have the ability. I think it's 18 or 21. There's something
Right.
that
Right.
limits it,
No.
but
Once
it could have changed.
yeah. Once it passed, it's over.
And
Right.
this is just from the top of my head, reading and talking to people I had heard. I heard the noise too. Oh, probably earlier with the cats. And poor people don't have much. Poor people don't have much to say. They do. Sometimes they can be very instrumental, but can be loud. But so are the rich. So it's but I think it brings a desperation on all sides because I don't feel a lot of these guys coming in here are rich. We're not. We've said we're on a budget. We said the money we're at. We've been pretty open about savings and that. In my opinion, George would still be working full time plus, and that I would just be sitting home all the time alone, anyways, and just stressed about paying rent and electricity. So it's especially now. So we feel we dodged that bullet. And now with medical problems, there's no possible way. So financially, to take the last of our savings and go back, could we and survive? The answer is yes. But why? Why would we go back there and grind? And now it's my medical condition that we'll talk about a little bit down the road. There's just no possible way. So, but anyways, I can't afford tax B with $800 a month on property tax. Yeah, the taxes are high. Yeah. Jose said, love all, trust few. Everything is real, but not everyone is true. True. Oh, there's the penny thing. They just made the penny last month. You can still use the pennies, but they're not making any new ones. Yeah, I guess some of them are. Oh, Wendy's put a sign up saying penny nickel thing. Yeah. So what they're going to do is somehow they will make more money. So if the tax thing, their machine will probably just round it up to the 5. Yeah. Yeah. Or they're going to have to change where, yeah, everything will have to be on the nickel roundup in the machines. Does that mean you think everybody's going to have to buy a new machine or reprogram or an update? Most of them are an update with an app, probably.
Well, they just update them.
They'll just update the, yeah. Nothing wrong with that nipple piercing. Yeah, George got it going on there today. Jen with the baby. No, I don't. That's not the couple I think they're talking about. I did see her the other day. She's still occasionally vlogging, mostly just talking about the baby and doing things with her family's house. I see where I think she's done an interview or so. An average channel again. She's just riding off the coattail of what was her husband, in my opinion. Just the same. It's a simp channel, in my opinion. Fully a simp channel if somebody's hanging on because it's neighbor, maybe? Hold on. Somebody just yelled out. It's weird how. Is it Makanapo, they say? Or what is it they say when they're.
It's not ours, but check.
Yeah. What is it that they say when they're at the door?
Taupo.
Taupo. Yeah, that's what they were screaming out yesterday. There was a male and female. No, it is for, but the younger one did say Taupo over and over again. He did not. He's much older. He said something else. So you think the Taupo is a younger? Did you say Taupo as a kid?
Taupo is person here or visitor.
Right.
Tao, well, po means sir, ma'am.
Right.
Tao is person. So
person here, yeah. Yeah, because they were both saying two different things. Make George get up and dance.
Right.
In George, you got to figure out the sound. That sounds like a cell phone call ringing. Interesting. Are we talking? That was probably when your phone was going off. So it's the buzzing sound like an older speaker do when the cell phone calling comes in. It's still happening. That might be you. Are we having a feedback, or is that the buzzer sound that you might have been hearing? Because there's been no other sounds. You talking about the buzzer?
I don't know.
Yeah. If it costs 4 cents to make a penny, yeah, that was the actual problem. So, yeah, Harry was saying it takes, so it was just getting ridiculous. So they bypassed our interference comments 3 times. I don't get that one. Did something get held?
Not from that person. No.
So. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. So we just wanted to cover that, and we appreciate everybody's
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. You can actually see George has got to get his nap going.
Don't forget to support the channel, guys.
Yeah, I can't pull up. Thank you so much for those that have been supporting us for Christmas.
Don't forget GoFundMe.
AI agent.
Donate to my whole fund.
That way George can get a hoe for Christmas and get the off of me.
Right?
Yeah, send George to Walking Street.
All I want for Christmas are 2 big tits. 2 big tits. 2 big tits. Oh, wait. I already got it.
You know what I'm going to do with them peppermint candy canes we got from Landers the other day?
Oh, ooh.
Surgically removing the box of 12 we just got, not from the tree. They're going to be removing that and the tree from you, that 3-foot tree. And it probably got room for it too, bitch.
Right.
George said, right. All right, guys. Thank you again so much. And we'll see you guys on the next live stream. Will be Wednesday. Be sure to send in your ideals. That mailbag thing is building up, and we're going to be going still through our old stuff.
That's what's next.
That'll be on Saturday. So, but Wednesday we'll find it'll probably just be me. George has got something scheduled. So see you in a few days.